This is what I'm talking about. Blowing leads, can't beat good teams on the road, and could somehow beat mediocre teams like the Jazz and the Wizards twice, and the Raptors. This tells me two things. One, we've got to find a way to beat these good teams. Because if we can't beat them now, what makes you think that we could beat them when the playoffs start? Exactly why we be getting these second round exits. Like, we'll get out the first round, but I don't know. This team is missing a center, obviously. Hopefully, we could get a center by next month. But we need a center. Like how we blow leads like that. That's crazy. But we do face them again. Um, I don't know when we face them. I don't think I could turn the camera on. No. I forgot to charge my laptop. I still have like 50% juice. But like I said, man, it's gotta find ways to beat these teams. Um, it's important. Or gotta find ways to beat these good teams. You know, a lot of people are gonna be looking at us as frauds. Like, okay, so okay, so I'm gonna list the teams that we beat. Okay, so this is it right here. Okay. It's kind of fishy how we can always beat these good teams, but we always beat these bad teams, but we struggle against good teams. I hate that. Now, I'm not saying that for us to, you know, I mean, it would be good to be at least 2 or 3 good teams, but I don't know. So, first game of the season, we lost against a very good team, obviously Boston Celtics. And then after that, we bounced back against the Pacers. We lost against the Cavaliers. We won against Miami. We won against Detroit. We lost against Houston. We lost against Atlanta. Won against the Bucks. Lost against Pacers. Won against Philly. Beat Chicago, who we face tonight. We face tonight. We lost against Chicago 124 to 123, 1 point game. We beat Brooklyn twice. We beat Washington. They beat the Phoenix Suns. Now I'll give Phoenix credit for that. We lost against Utah. I don't know how we lost, but we lost against Utah. We won against Denver. I'll give the Knicks that. We lost against Dallas. We won against abysmal Charlotte team. We beat a bad New Orleans team. We beat Orlando, who's pretty good. Charlotte, we beat again. Detroit, we split against Detroit. We won against, no, actually, we lost against Detroit. We won against Toronto, lost against Atlanta, and then we went on a 8. We 9. We went on a 9-game winning streak. We beat Orlando, beat Minnesota, beat New Orleans, beat Toronto, beat San Antonio, beat Orlando, beat Washington twice, beat Utah. Not really convincing wins, you know. All these teams outside of the Minnesota and Orlando, not really convincing wins. And then after that, we lost against uh, Oklahoma. Um, so tonight we face Chicago. How many times we beat Chicago? We lost against them November 13th. We lost against them by 1 point, and after that, yeah. So I think this is our second meeting. So this is going to be at Chicago, and then we're going to have a 5 game winning, 5 game home stance. We're going to be at home for the next 5 games. 1, 2, 3, yeah, for the next 5 games, we're going to be at home, and then we face Oklahoma January 10th. And then after that, after Chicago, we face Orlando. And then after Orlando, we face Toronto. And then after that, we face Oklahoma. And then Milwaukee, Detroit, Philly, Minnesota, and Atlanta. And then we play on the back-to-back January 20th to January 22nd. We face Brooklyn. We have a lot of home games, which is weird. And then after that, we're home against Sacramento, home against Grizzlies, home against Denver, home against Los Angeles Lakers, home against Houston. Yeah, so, and then our last game is against Brooklyn. So, yeah. But I'm not saying that. I mean Chicago. Okay, so these are the weak teams, right? Chicago, Toronto, and that's it. We face one bad team. So it's good that they're beating these mediocre teams, but I mean teams like Milwaukee, Oklahoma, Philly, Atlanta, Minnesota, we got to beat these teams, you know. So if we can't beat the good teams, and you know, and we have no trouble beating bad teams, that's gonna look bad on us, you know. Um, like I'm not saying that for us to beat every good team, but at least if we can at least get 2 or 3 wins, then that'll be great, you know. And I think that's why we suffered in the playoffs so much, because when we face good competition, we just fold, you know. Like when we face teams like Chicago, we'll thrash them, you know. Um, we had no, we had no business losing to the Utah Jazz. We should have swept Utah, to be honest. I don't know how they won that game, um, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, beating Detroit is not really bad neither. Toronto. So you got Toronto and Chicago. That's the only two bad teams that we face on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 games. Out of the 10 games, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 home games, and we got 1, 2, 3. Got 3 home. We got 3 away games and 7 home games. So we should defend home court, but it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. Chicago, we should beat. Orlando, we had our struggles with, but on the contrary, I think we've beaten Orlando a couple of times this year, or I think this is our first meet. Nope, we beat Orlando 121-106, and then we beat them again 108-85. So we are 2-0 right now against Orlando. So hopefully we can make it 3-0. Chicago, we split. Hopefully we can split the series. After this, we do face them again February 20th. So yeah. But yeah, we should beat Chicago. We should beat Orlando. We should beat Toronto. We should obviously rematch revenge against Oklahoma. We're probably going to lose against Milwaukee, lose against Detroit, lose against Philly, lose against Minnesota, lose against Atlanta, and win against Brooklyn. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10 games, I could see us winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 9 games, I could see us losing 6. No, out of 9 games, I could see us winning 6 and losing 4. So, yeah. So, let's just get it together, fellas. We at home. After Chicago, we at home. So there's no way that we should lose all these dang home games. Chicago's not even that good. What's their record right now? Chicago is 15-19, yeah. But then again, you should never overlook a person's record just because they're 15-19. Don't really mean that they're playing, that bad. Rose on Bulls, jersey retirement, we love that. I don't know about that. But it's consideration. That would be a very, I'm not saying that all these, Derrick Rose was fun to watch. So you said it right here. Rose on Bulls, jersey retirement, we love that. And I think that would be nice for Chicago to retire his jersey. Even though he won, he brought them close to a championship numerous times. If it wasn't because of the Heat, or if it wasn't for the Heat, I think Chicago would have probably won at least 2 titles. But they ran into the Heat too much, and Derrick Rose had a very good career. Outside of winning MVP, he was Mr. Do It All, and if the Bulls one day decides to retire his jersey, I'm all for it, They retired Zach Randolph jersey, so why not him? So, next, get it together, please. Embarrassing loss. Can't believe they took that game. Cause I was watching the game. It was just like they were up, the whole entire game, you know. And I don't know, but Knicks gotta find a way to win these games. Can't keep on losing to good teams, and beating on the bad teams. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe on the road to 2K. Let's get it.